Your voice, your opinion, your community. Fact TV, free speech protected.
Let's see here. What do we have here? Oh my goodness. Look! I found two that match. How'd you do? Oh, good. You found two that match too. It's just so hard to find mittens and gloves that match, huh? Hello there. Welcome to Grandma Kitty's house, and I'm Grandma Kitty, of course, and I have company today. This is my grandson Malachi, and he joined us today. So we're going to talk about playing outside in wintertime weather. So we were just trying to find some mittens and gloves that match, so we could get ready to go outside and play. Do you have trouble finding mittens and gloves that match? It can be quite a challenge sometimes, can't it? Yes, but I think we've found some. Yeah. So, speaking of mittens, I have a story about a mitten. I think you've heard this story before, haven't you? Yes, this is a really cute story, and Malachi has this story at his school, so he's heard it before, but why don't we read it? It's called The Mitten. Now, this is a Ukrainian folktale, and this was adapted and illustrated by Jan Brett. So let's read that, and Malachi can kind of help me out here. All right. Once there was a boy named Nicky who wanted his new mittens made from wool as white as snow. Do you think white mittens are a good idea?
Nope.
No, because what color is snow?
White.
White, yeah. Well, at first his grandmother Baba did not want to knit white mittens. If you drop one in the snow, she warned, you'll never find it. But Nicky wanted snow white mittens, and finally Baba made them.
Maybe you should put some blue on the wrist.
Oh, that would be a good idea if she put some blue around the wrist, yeah. After she finished, she said, when you come home, first I will look to see if you are safe and sound, but then I will look to see if you still have your snow white mittens. So off Nicky went, and it wasn't long until one of his new mittens dropped in the snow and was left behind. Now, this book is really neat because it kind of tells you what's going to happen on the next page.
She gives you tricks. She gives you some.
Yes. In the mitten, there's a picture of what's coming on the next page. A mole, tired from tunneling along, discovered the mitten and burrowed inside. It was cozy and warm, just the right size, so he decided to stay. So what's coming next?
A Snow White rabbit.
Right. A snow white rabbit came hopping by. He stopped for a moment to admire his winter coat. It was then that he saw the mitten, and he wiggled in feet first. The mole didn't think there was room for both of them, but when he saw the rabbit's big kickers, he moved over. Do you think the mitten's really big enough for a rabbit and a mole? It must have really stretched.
That's stuffy.
Yeah, do you know what that is?
It's a hedgehog.
A hedgehog. Next, a hedgehog came snuffling along. Having spent the day looking under wet leaves for things to eat, he decided to move into the mitten and warm himself. The mole and the rabbit were bumped and jostled, but not being ones to argue with someone covered with prickles, they made room. Shh, don't get the story away. What comes next?
Owl.
An owl. As soon as the hedgehog disappeared into the mitten, a big owl, attracted by the commotion, swooped down. When he decided to move in also, the mole, the rabbit, and the hedgehog grumbled. But when they saw the owl's glinty talons, they quickly let him in. Do you know what his talents are? Talons?
Sharp nails.
Yeah, that's what he grabs a hold of the branches with, so they didn't want him to grab a hold of them, huh? Up through the snow appeared a badger. He eyed the mitten and began to climb in. The mole, the rabbit, the hedgehog, and the owl were not pleased. There was no room left, but when they saw his diggers, they gave him the thumb. They let him fit right into the thumb. Boy, that mitten's really getting stretched out, huh?
Go back to the owl page. You can see it.
Oh, what is it? Oh, yeah, it's like a talon. Yeah, yep. Well, it started snowing, but the animals were snug in the mitten. A waft of warm steam rose in the air, and a fox trotting by stopped to investigate. Just the sight of the cozy mitten made him feel drowsy. The fox poked his muzzle in. When the mole, the rabbit, the hedgehog, the owl, and the badger saw his shiny teeth, they gave the fox lots of room. Boy, that mitten's really stretching. What's next?
Bear.
Whoa, look at that big bear. A great bear lumbered by. He spied the mitten all plumped up. Not being one to be left out in the cold, he began to nose his way in. The animals were packed in as tightly as could be, but what animal would argue with a bear? The mitten swelled and stretched. It was pulled and bulged to many times its size, but Baba's good knitting held fast. And what's coming next?
A tiny
Little
winter mouse.
mouse. Along came a meadow mouse, no bigger than an acorn. She wriggled into the one space left and made herself comfortable on top of the great bear's nose. What's gonna happen? You know.
The bear's gonna get snug because of his tail.
The bear, tickled by the mouse's whiskers, gave an enormous sneeze. Ka-choo! The force of the sneeze shot the mitten up into the sky and scattered the animals in all directions.
You should run my stuffy.
Ah, like you have, yeah. On his way home, Nicky saw a white shape in the distance. It was his lost mitten, silhouetted against the blue sky, because it floated right up into the air after the bear sneezed. As he ran to catch his snow-white mitten, he saw Baba's face in the window. First, she looked to see if he was safe and sound, and then she saw that he still had his brand new mitten. He didn't, though, when he was out playing, huh? And now they're looking at it, and she can't figure out why one mitten is so much bigger than the other. If only they knew, huh? Isn't that a cute story? So today, for our life lesson, I thought we could talk about how to dress appropriately for winter time. All right, I have a list of things that we need, so you read it to me, and I'll see if I can find it. Okay, so what's the first item?
Winter coat.
A winter coat. Okay, so we have a winter coat here. All right. Now, what's the difference between a winter coat and a spring jacket? Do you know?
No.
What's the difference between these two?
The winter snow has more layers, and
Yeah.
also it's waterproof.
And it's puffy and warm, and this is just thin, and it wouldn't keep you very warm in the winter time, would it? Okay, what's the next item?
Snowsuit or snow pants.
Okay, I got a couple of different kinds. This is a one-piece snowsuit, and this is the best because the snow can't go down your pants. So it
I'm
might go
used to it.
down your neck, but it won't go down. It won't go down your pants.
I'm used to getting them down my pants.
You are? Oh, cold. That would be cold, though. Here's a bib type, and this is good, too, because the bib part goes up under your coat.
And it's really soft.
And then the snow won't go down your pants. Now, if you don't have that kind and you have just snow pants, that's okay, because the snow pants will protect your
And they can
lower
go-
half. But the only thing is, if your coat and your snow pants separate, you might get snow on your bare back, and that would be
Can I put the
cold.
orange ones on?
You want to do the red one? Okay. All right, what's next?
Boots.
Boots. All right. Sometimes finding boots that match can be as challenging as finding mittens that match, because you know kids come in sometimes and they just kick their boots off one direction
I
or the
do.
other. You do. Got to line them up by the door, and then you'll always be able to find them. Okay. What's next?
Mittens or gloves.
Oh yeah, and
Yep,
we've
I
got
have-
those. You've already got yours on. Okay. Do you know the difference between mittens and gloves?
Gloves have more finger holes, and mittens only have two.
Mittens are solid, and gloves have finger holes. Yeah, so these are easy. If you're trying to pick something up like keys or something, it's much easier to have gloves on. But mittens are actually warmer than gloves.
See, look at.
All right, next. Oh yeah, and you can pick that right up. Next,
Hat.
hat. Okay, I got a couple hats. This is a nice ski hat, and a nice one. How about this? A Joker's hat. Your brother likes to wear this one. All
It
right.
matches my gloves.
Oh, cool, because it's sparkly. All right, what's
Okay.
next?
Scarf.
Scarf. Okay.
I don't wear
You don't wear scarves? I have several different kinds of scarves. I have this one here that goes over your head. This one here that goes around your neck. This one here. And then just this is a smaller one that his brother likes to wear. But scarves are nice because they keep your neck nice and warm. All right.
Also, long hats too.
Long hats. Yep. What's next?
Extra socks.
Extra socks. Oh, look at my
I put 'em on?
socks. You want to put these socks on? I don't know if they'll fit with your boots. Look at mine. Mine say Mama Bear. These are nice, warm socks. You can try it, but they may be. I find that they are so fluffy that it's hard to get my boots on after I get my socks on. All right. All right, now we're going to dress Malachi up so you can see what it looks like to be all dressed up for winter. You wanted to do the one-piece snowsuit?
Yep.
The one-piece snowsuit needs some work because he's worn it so much it's all worn out. But it's his favorite snowsuit. So,
Look at me.
all right, climb in. I don't think you've got your foot through the holes yet. You might have to bend over and pull them on. There you go. Okay, come on over and I'll help you get your sleeves on. Oh, look at this. This is nice and snuggly and warm. Do you want a scarf? No, but see, if he put a scarf on, then he would, oh, look at that. Doesn't he look nice and warm for winter time? Nice. All right. Good job. So now if he goes outside to play in the winter, he's got his head covered so his head won't be cold. Show us your hands. He's got his hands covered so his hands won't be cold. He's got his winter boots on so his feet won't get cold. And then the snow won't go down his pants. It won't get inside. And he'll be nice and roasty toasty in there while he plays outside. All right. Nice job. Okay, so you know what? Let's take the snowsuit back off. And we'll move on to move and groove time. Move and groove time is not Malachi's favorite time, but hopefully he'll do all right helping me out with move and groove. Oh, you buckled it. Do you get it? There you go. All right. Let's see if we can get you out of here. We can take the gloves off now because we're inside, so we don't really need to have all our. How about you don't have to sing. When we do move and groove is so that you can get up and get some exercise and move around. So you don't have to sing for move and groove. I like to sing. I like to sing when I do move and groove, but you don't have to. Are you going to leave the Mama Bear socks on?
They're comfy.
Well, just be careful because I don't want you to slip and fall.
Yep,
So-
Mama.
All right, now we have a song that is called Ha La La La. And if you have a friend with you, you want to get your friend up to help you because this is a friend song. You really need to have a friend help you with this. Oh, you got to get up to move and groove, silly. You're not going to get up and move and groove with me? Oh, kids, you just never know. Oh, here we go. I guess I'm moving and grooving by myself. Well, there you go. You're a little bit of motion in there. Ha la 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 hallelujah. Ha la 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 hallelujah. Ha la 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 hallelujah. Ha la 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 hallelujah. Shake a friend's hand, shake a hand next to you. Shake a friend's hand and sing this song. Shake a friend's hand, shake a hand next to you. Shake a friend's hand and sing. Sing this song. Hallelujah, hallelujah. song. Did you like that? That was a fun song. Did you get much exercise sitting in the chair?
Yes.
Silly you. I did see you moving and grooving a bit in the chair. All right. So, Oh, okay. So, now we're going to talk about our bee basket, our bee bag. Let's see. I've got that right here. Did you see my new bee bag? Can you see my bee? Do you like bees? Do you like bees?
Only if they don't sting you.
Only if they don't sting you, yeah. Well, you know what? You just have to stay away from them.
I got stung on my tongue before.
They're very important. Bees are very important. They do a lot of work for us. They make honey and pollinate our plants. So bees are very important. Do you know what our bee basket is? Do you know? It's the things we want to be. That's what's in our bee basket, the things we want to be.
Hold it.
So you want to hold the sign? Sure, you can hold it. All right, let's see what we have in here. What is it?
Be warm.
Be warm. Oh, I just love to be warm. Don't you love to be warm? I do. It's kind of hard sometimes to be warm in the wintertime, isn't it? Isn't it? You know, when it's so cold outside, and sometimes it gets a little chilly in the house too. So let's talk about some ways that we can be warm. You can just lean it like that. What are some ways that we can be warm?
Winter coat.
Wrong page.
Stay
So-
inside and.
Oh, yeah, stay inside in the heated house. Yes. Oh, I just am so thankful for a warm house in the wintertime. Do you know, how do people keep their houses warm? Do you know?
Pellet stove and.
Yeah. So some people have pellet stoves. We have a pellet stove, right? Oh, pellet stoves are so nice. Now we have a wood stove, and a wood stove is nice too because a wood stove is nice, warm,
But they
steady
can start
heat.
fires.
But it's kind of hard to start a fire, yeah. And then wood stoves are a lot of work because you gotta cut the wood and you gotta stack the wood, and then you gotta bring the wood in the house and you gotta put the wood in the fire, and then you gotta clean the ashes out of the
They can
stove.
burn your house.
It can burn your house down too, yes. And you
Or
have to
sparks.
clean your stovepipe, and so wood stoves are a lot of work. Now pellet stoves are nice because all you have to do with pellet stoves is dump a bag of pellets in there and push the button. And ours we have to light, because it doesn't light itself. So, but it's a lot like a wood stove because it gives you nice steady heat.
And
So,
it's way safer.
and it's much safer, yes. And I love my pellet stove too, yeah. And now there's also furnace. A lot of people heat with a furnace. They're really easy. All you do is turn the dial, and it makes the furnace come on, and the furnace heats the house up. But there's two things. It's expensive, and also it doesn't have a steady heat the way a wood stove or a pellet stove does.
And if you burn your house down, we live near a wood, so it could like the whole entire town
It
down.
could catch the woods on fire too. That's right. Okay, now here's another way.
Start a fire.
Start a fire. So we were talking about having a fire inside the house in
I
a
like
wood stove.
making fires.
Now, what do we do outside in the wintertime?
Bumper shovel around
The brush pile.
the brush pile sometimes. And what we usually do is
He starts the fire, right?
start a campfire.
We do a campfire sometimes. Yeah, we have a fire pit, and sometimes we'll start a fire in the fire pit. We even have cookouts in the wintertime. We'll start a fire in the fire pit and cook hot dogs and hamburgers. And we always, every year, we burn a brush pile. And when we burn the brush pile, what do we do?
Roast hot dogs and marshmallows.
We roast hot dogs and marshmallows, and if we do the fire in the fire pit, sometimes we make s'mores. So it's fun to have a fire outside in the wintertime.
It's hard to get rid of.
What?
It's hard to get out.
Hard to put the fire out? Well, you can just it'll burn itself out. Yeah, but sometimes the brush pile will burn for a long time, right? Okay, so here's another one. Do you know what that word is?
Dress appropriate for the winter.
Dress appropriately for the weather. We just showed you how Malachi, he put his snowsuit and his boots and his hat and his gloves on, and he was dressed appropriately for the weather. Now let me ask you this. Would you wear, say, a t-shirt and shorts outside in the wintertime? No, that would be very chilly, wouldn't it? That would not be dressing appropriately. What about
Here you go.
What about flip-flops. Would you wear flip-flops outside in the wintertime?
You're gonna get frostbite.
You can get frostbite. That's right. You can get frostbite on your toes. So flip-flops, sandals, shorts, t-shirt, that is not appropriate attire for wintertime. You want to make sure you're bundled up and you've got your winter gear on so that you won't get frostbite like Malachi just said. Okay, what's something else we can do?
Warm drinks.
Oh, yes, Malachi's got that right there. You can do hot chocolate. Now, when we go outside and play, we always like to come in and have hot chocolate. And look what I brought here. I've got mugs, and did you see their Hello Kitty mugs? Isn't that cute? So I've got one for Malachi and one for me, and our hot chocolate, so we can have some hot chocolate. I like to have a hot cup of tea too. And if you get really chilly, you could have like hot soup. You could do like chicken noodle soup or ramen noodles or something like that would warm you up too. Okay, what else could we do here?
Wake up in a blanket.
Wrap up in a blanket. Oh, wait, I brought some blankets here. Oh, let's see what we have. Oh, look at this. I brought a sharp one for you. All right, let's wrap you up in a sharp one. Oh, and look at me. I've got purple polka dots. Oh, yes. I just love to wrap up in a blanket in the wintertime. And
Go go gaga.
yes, when it's wintertime, one of my favorite things to do, especially when it's snowing out, is wrap up in a blanket and lay down on the couch and watch a movie. But you know what happens when I watch a movie
You
and
fall
I'm
asleep.
Oh, you know me. Malachi knows me. When I wrap up in my blanket and I lay down on the couch and I get all roasty, toasty, and warm, he's right. I fall asleep. And then I miss the movie. Oh my goodness. Silly Grandma Kitty. She watches TV with her eyes closed when she gets too comfortable. Did you know that they have electric blankets too? Have you ever heard of an electric blanket? Yeah, some people put electric blankets on their bed and then they go turn the electric blanket on before they go to bed and it warms their bed up and then their bed is nice and roasty toasty when they go to bed. That's really cool. I've never had an electric blanket before. So what are some of your favorite wintertime activities? What do you like to do in the wintertime?
Me?
You? Yeah.
Go sledding.
Go
Have a
sledding.
snowball fight.
Snowball fights. Oh, look, I have some snowballs here. These are not real snowballs. How do we know these are not real snowballs?
The plastic. They're comfy.
They're nice and soft and fuzzy. And would they look like this if they were real snowballs
No.
inside? What happens to snowballs when you go inside?
They melt.
They melt. So if this was a real snowball, it would be turning into water right now. But building a snowman. Snowmen are fun, right? So, but I like, some days I just like to stay inside and drink my hot chocolate. And then, we could always pretend to have a snowball fight because we've got the snowballs here. So, I thought it was really nice of you to join me today. So I brought you a treat. Do you want to see what it is? Well, I've got two things, actually. Sit right up here so you can see. Do you know what this is? This is a granola bar. Look what kind of granola bar it is. What does it say?
Kind.
Kind. This is a Kind granola bar. And these are dark chocolate pretzels. What kind are these?
Nice.
Now, do you think if we eat these, it will make us kinder and nicer? Do you think? Yeah? So do you want to be kinder or do you want to be nicer? You want to be nicer? Oh, I hope that it makes us kinder and nicer because I would really like to be a kinder, nicer person, huh? So we're going to eat these and we're going to see. Maybe Malachi will be nicer next time you see him and maybe I'll be a little bit kinder. That would be pretty cool, huh? So I think that just about covers. Oh, how is it? Is it good? I think that just about covers it for us today. So now we've showed you how to dress when you go outside. So make sure when you go outside in the wintertime that you're properly clothed and you have your feet covered with your boots and your hands covered with your gloves or mittens and you have your snowsuit on if you're going to play outside for a while. So that way you won't be cold and you won't get frostbite and you'll be roasty and toasty. And if you want to come inside and get warmed up, have a cup of hot chocolate or soup or wrap up in a blanket like Malachi and me and sit down and watch TV. And wintertime is fun, but you want to make sure you stay warm. So you take care. You stay healthy and safe and happy and stay warm and make sure you dress appropriately for the weather, okay? So you take care and we will see you next time. Can you say bye to everybody? Bye-bye.